It's 5:35, 5:34. Everybody can hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So what do we have for additions to the agenda? I thought you had something, Jen, the thing from CVRPC.
Yep. Yeah, you speak on it?
Yes, it's a regional planning effort, being done around, trails.
Yeah.
And we East Montpelier Trails has been asked to write a letter of support for a grant that, an organization is trying to get, the Vermont Trails and Greenways Council, and asking if the town would be interested in supporting that effort as well through a letter.
Okay, so that's something that's something we should discuss a little bit later in the meeting.
That'd be fine. Yep,
Okay.
it was included, I think, in the package. It was a late addition, literally
Yep.
this happened. So there
Yep.
we go.
I read it. Okay, review of minutes, December 15th.
Motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
Any further discussion on the December 15th minutes? Not hearing any. All those in favor of accepting the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes appear to have it. They do have it. The next thing on the agenda is public comment. Do we have any public in? I don't see any. I don't hear any.
I'm here, but I'm here for the planning commission part.
Yeah, you're on the agenda.
Yep.
So you're not public, but you're kind of
Okay.
public. But you're not general public. Okay, so the next item is select board candidates
I
interviews.
see a hand, Seth.
Oh, I can't see the hand, so.
Sorry, it's just me. I was just playing with my headphones, not really my hand. And
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say, or I'm just watching the show. Thank you.
Thank you for calling it a show. I think take that as a compliment.
It is. It's very good.
Thank you, Steve. So the next thing is select board candidates interviews. Are we interviewing somebody? Or do we just have a letter of interest?
So we have Joe Brook.
Joe, do you want
Good
to
evening. Sit up here,
sit
sit
up
up
there.
there. Where would you
get
like me?
better seen by the cameras?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So
Okay.
let me see if I can find we have questions, but I don't have them right in front of me.
Yeah, Jen sent them before 16.
Yeah. I know. I'm looking. Minutes memo. Well, you guys gonna have to ask questions because I can't seem to find it. Draft, town budget. Well, we have questions. So what do we have?
The first question, I can go ahead. What motivated you? What motivated you to seek a position on the select board, and what specific skills or experiences do you believe you bring that would benefit our community?
I've been motivated by public service my entire life. So I'm still a federal employee and I'm working currently as the spokesperson for the Vermont National Guard. And before that, I was a member of the National Guard in Connecticut and Massachusetts and retired after a 20-year career as a major. I've just been involved in working with my communities in every aspect that I've done, including career-wise. I'm a member of the Public Relations Society of America, the Army Association of the United States, the Military Officers of America Association. Just generally, I'm a little bit of a politics nerd too, so I enjoy understanding what is going on in my local community and understanding what's going on. So I have moved around a lot, so Now that I am settled into a place, I'm wanting to take a bigger role in my local community and local governance. As far as skills, I am a communicator by trade. My main skill is the ability to use and understand the media and what is going on in the media environment. And I've done that professionally for a very long time. I am an expert in, not that it's going to do much in Montpelier, East Montpelier is, I'm an expert in countering mis and disinformation and information, the usage of media in various roles. So those are my primary skills. I'm a journalist by trade as well.
All right.
I
So,
can go next. So do you have some priorities? We're looking for, say, 3 priorities for the municipality for the coming year, and ideas for addressing any existing challenges that you've seen here.
So one thing that I've noticed pretty heavily since I've gotten here, and I've admittedly only been here since February of last year, but I've been working a lot with people in North Montpelier area. And energy independence is going to be an area of concern. So understanding and helping people understand and gain access to some of those assets, green energy priorities, programs that are worked through. I live right across from the solar panel, and somebody asked me, do you really want to live across from solar panels? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's firmly something I believe in. So trying to work on and make sure to achieve energy independence, going to local businesses around East Montpelier, I don't think are getting the attention that they deserve. I mean, I right across from Fox Market often, right up across the corner here, go there. And it's sad to see them have to cut their hours. It'd be nice to see if there was something that we can help our local businesses and to build a bit more resiliency for them. And then our infrastructure in the town seems pretty good, but of course you always have to keep on that. I'm a logistics officer by trade as well from the Army, and so I understand that if you ever lose sight of your infrastructure and making sure that it's upkept and upkept well, by the time that gets away from you, it's very hard to get it back.
Okay, thank you.
okay. Next question.
How do you
Who's doing?
Sorry, how do you envision maintaining fiscal responsibility and affordability for taxpayers? And what specific measures would you advocate for?
I mean, so today is the first time I'm actually getting to look at and see the East Montpelier budget. So I have to dig into that and understand really what our income and outflows are fully. And I've sat in a couple of meetings so far with the Planning Commission and also here as well. And various aspects. I see that there are a lot of developments within town with relation to road, of course, care. I was here when you were all talking about the warning lines on the road that needed to be paved and when to paint them and when not to, because of whether or not you're going to have to just redo it again. That is a primary logistics matter. I was actually geeking out a little bit when you guys were having that conversation, because I'm like understanding that aspect of, yes, you don't paint lines on the road that are going to be destroyed over the winter. So I don't have a great view on the budget yet. This is the first time I'm seeing it, but I'm looking forward into digging into it and understanding it.
Okay, next
Scott,
question.
you want to try one? Okay, well, I guess Jen and I can go back and forth.
Yes, Scott, do you have the questions?
Yes, I do.
Oh, why don't you ask one then?
Sure. How do you envision maintaining, oh, we did that one already, I'm sorry. What is your understanding of the role of local government in our community? And how do you see yourself contributing to its effectiveness?
So local government is the biggest impact on people that they never see. And that is just nationwide, always been a problem. It's always going to be an issue of local government. But it's something that people need to understand a lot more. So really what I would like to do within this board is also being involved in understanding and trying to guide our community, but also getting the word out about what we're doing. Because I just in my own small section of North Montpelier, not many of them come to this meeting, and not many of them know. And when they heard that I started coming to these meetings, like, oh, so what's going on with, whatever issue? One of the big issues right now is, the traffic and speed coming across the Singing Bridge, for example, and just how fast people drive on that. And you've already addressed some of that with trying to get the speed signs developed and delivered and set up. But my neighbors were asking me about that because I actually come here. So local governance is really primarily important to all the community members, and they never pay attention to it. So my hope is to help them pay attention to it somewhat.
Well, we all appreciate knowing that we are underappreciated, recognizing that. And it's great that you've been able to reach out to your neighbors and get them asking you about what's going on here. What can we do to reel them in? What can we do to get them and other people in town to participate more in town matters and the fire department and other things that we need volunteers for?
Well, so one of the first things that I want to do, regardless of whether I am on the select board or not, is try to look at, and basically a media audit is what we call it in the business, look at where people are actually getting their information and seeing how we can restructure it to get it to more people. I mean, there's the signpost, there's Front Porch Forum, of course.
Couldn't find the
But
questions, so
I don't know how effective those are yet
They're
without
asking the
really kind of
questions.
looking
They
into
don't.
asking them about some of their numbers.
I'm
A
not worried about it.
lot of people go to Front Porch Forum, for example, to try to, find whatever they can refurbish for their living room or whatever. They're not looking at what's going on in politics. Is that a reason of the way that we are writing it? Maybe I can help you write it better. Is that they're just not looking there for that information? So I think a media audit is the first thing that would really help.
Okay, so I think
Okay.
we're on.
Thank you.
Next question would, how can you provide an example of a time you had to make a difficult decision that was unpopular with some stakeholders, and how did you handle it?
This has happened. Let's see, I'm trying to think of which ones I can actually talk about, because throughout my career. But it has happened a lot. I'm gonna go way back to responding to the blizzard in, what was that, 2012 in Connecticut, when I was with the National Guard. And the popular belief was that we needed to focus on getting soldiers up into a helicopter to do images of the damage of a blizzard from a helicopter, and taking people away from being on the ground that were actually going out to, secure power lines, put things up correctly, to try to, get people out of frozen houses and whatnot. And I had to point out to people that basically, if you're putting soldiers in the air, but they're not actually going to be giving any kind of supplies to anybody or doing anything to help them, all you're doing is you're taking one asset off the ground that you need. And when you get the imagery back, and what they called it a battle damage assessment, despite the fact it was a natural disaster, but you get the assessment back, it's a blizzard. All you're going to see, it's white. That's it. So having to convince people and understand that they need to use their resources more appropriately, rather than trying to get that picture that they're looking for, which isn't even what they were going to get, what they thought they were going to get anyway.
Helicopters are fun.
They are fun. Been in a lot of them, but not necessary always. Sometimes you need somebody on the ground.
Okay, I can do the next question. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
We're
Okay.
waiting with bated breath.
Bated breath, good. What is your approach to collaboration and consensus building, especially when faced with differing opinions among fellow select board members or the community?
So my approach is to, one, get all the information, two, synthesize the information, and then three, try to find the points where we agree. I mean, that's really what it's all about. That's what communication is about. Within every area of disagreement we have, there are going to be points within it that we agree on. And so if you can attack those first, and then you can maybe start to discuss the areas where you disagree. But first you need to come to, what do we actually, do we understand the same information? big thing in my career field is, are we getting the same information? Do we understand the same information? Are we interpreting it the same way under the same parameters? What do we agree on within this, and then what's left?
Okay. I can do the last one, or does somebody want to do that one? Last question?
Sure. So you're now working as spokesperson for the Vermont National Guard, and I imagine that there are rhythms, ups and downs in terms of the amount of time commitment that job takes. But how would you balance the commitment of that work versus working on the select board here?
I mean, you've probably seen the media flurry that's been going on the last couple of weeks, so you can imagine that I've been very busy over this holiday. Anyway, but it's just the old adage of, if you've got somebody that, you know, is always busy, give them more work. That's kind of the way it always worked. That's the way the Army has always worked for it. You find somebody that's been being effective, you give them more work. So I manage myself pretty well to be able to handle everything. If I did not think that I could do this, I would not be here. So I'm good at multitasking.
Good.
Okay. So that's all the questions I have. Does anybody have any others? Or maybe we should ask the candidate, does he have questions of us?
So I brought this up last time I met with you, and the only thing that is about this is that given that I'm a federal employee, I have to maintain an apolitical stance, and I understand that the select board is apolitical. I just wanted to bring to everyone's attention that if it ever becomes not apolitical, I can't be a part of it, because that would preclude me based on law from my federal job. So that's just out there. You know, as long as I know that there is no party affiliation or anything with the select board, if there ever were, I would immediately have to resign myself. So just making sure that's well known.
So I have a question about that.
Yep.
We are a nonpartisan organization. We are not
Sorry.
apolitical. We're at our heart and soul, we're a political organization.
Yes.
Okay, so earlier this select board year, we took a stand on what was it we sent to the congressional delegation? I believe it was when we were going out on the bond market looking for the money to finance our fire station. And we had a choice of two different sources. One was a Vermont bond bank, and the other was a USDA program. And turned out the Vermont bond bank was, you know, even if they were both equally credible, it was a better deal for us, and we went with it. But we decided to write off the USDA program because at that point, we did not have confidence with all the changes that were happening so rapidly in the federal government that that would be a stable source for us. And we wrote a letter to our congressional delegation explaining this and asking them to help maintain the rule of law in this country, so that we could depend on our federal agencies more than we thought we could at the time. How comfortable would you be being a part of a statement like that? It was nonpartisan, but it was definitely political.
So assuming that if it's in a situation, so if you had anything to deal with the Department of Defense, for example, I would have to recuse myself.
Understood.
As long as I'm allowed to recuse myself on key political votes, primarily if they have to do with parties, that's where it comes down to mostly. But in other aspects with the federal government, as long as I can recuse myself, I can do the work, right? So you don't need to have, if you don't need to have me on the vote, I will very bluntly tell you, hey, look, I've got to step out of this one. I can't be a part of this one.
99.9% of our votes are not remotely like the one that I told you about. Yeah.
So as
But
long
how
as you're
about that-
with me to recuse myself when necessary, then I think that it wouldn't be an issue.
How about that Rutland resolution? That was definitely a political statement,
Yeah.
but as long as, you know, you have the opportunity to recuse yourself, then you would not be part of that vote for the resolution.
We wouldn't want to have you accused of seditious behavior.
Yeah,
I'd like to keep my job as.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions that you have? Of
No,
us.
thank you very much.
any more questions, period, from select board members?
No, I
The
appreciate
candidate.
your, I appreciate the depth of your answers and your interest in East Montpelier and the select board.
Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
So I see that it says possible executive session. Do we have anybody else we're interviewing for this position?
We had one other candidate, but she had a conflict for tonight's date.
Okay. Okay, is she still planning to come in? That's Kaylee, right?
Yeah, I haven't received a response about January 21st to reschedule.
I saw that. I saw your,
I saw the.
so we probably should wait and discuss when, after she comes in and interviews, then discuss an appointment. I would think that would be the fair way to do it. Okay,
Yeah, fairness is an issue. Another issue is, it would be nice to be able to list an incumbent on if we have one, in the town meeting warning. So we need to think about our deadline for the town meeting warning and making a decision before that is finalized. If the rest of you share that as an important thing to have.
I'm sorry, what was the reason why she hasn't been able to join us
she had
before?
a conflict.
Oh, conflict. Okay, thank you. I missed that. Thanks.
So I'm just thinking through the process. So what you're saying, Carl, is you would like to have an incumbent listed. But another way of approaching it is if we haven't appointed anybody by the deadline for a vote for the town report or the office or whatever we have to do, can't those people just sign up to run?
To continue in office past town meeting, whoever we appoint
Yeah,
now
yeah.
needs to run. I mean, we can only appoint someone to
Right.
serve till town meeting day. What I'm saying is, it would be a service to the voters to let them know who we've appointed to
Yeah.
the position by having that person listed on the ballot as an incumbent.
We don't list incumbents on the ballot.
I stand corrected.
So not only that, but we haven't let these people know that have interest in this position that they could run. And they need to know that right away, so they get a petition in. Correct?
And Seth, the question in the past we have asked, was the candidate for the open position or the appointed position, were they intending to run for election? I remember that was a question.
Yeah, so I think that we need to reach out to these people that are interested and let them know that there's an election coming up and their appointment's only for a couple of months.
I did that just before the end of the year, Seth.
Okay. So
So-
the gentleman that just came in, is he aware of the fact that this appointment's only for a couple of months?
He's nodding his head yes.
Yep. Are you
Okay.
circulating a petition?
I am. yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, good. And then we need to let Kaylee know also.
We did.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure that was clear.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of time between the 21st and the 26th to get 30 signatures, so.
That's why I'm mentioning it now.
Yep.
Because it's January 5th, it's still several weeks away, blah, blah, blah. So we don't want to spring this on somebody January 21st. Oh, if you want to run, you got 3 days to get your signatures in. Right?
I've actually notified anyone who has given me any indication that they want to
Yeah.
run or, so.
Yeah.
I've not heard from Kaylee, but she
Okay,
was provided with the same information.
okay, all right. Well, that sounds good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so let's move to the next item. That is, we're running behind, but that's okay. Consideration of Becca Schrader appointment to the planning commission. Possible
I think
motion.
Okay.
Becca is on our Zoom call.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi. I do have one small comment. There's a typo in the agenda. My last name is spelled SCHRADR.
I saw that.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
No, we'll talk to our town administrator about that typo.
We'll make sure that it's correct in the minutes so that everybody knows who's appointed.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Your name versus your nickname. But that's okay.
So I think that Becca has been vetted by the planning commission. Is that correct?
Yes.
So do you have something you'd like to say to us, Becca, or?
I'm just tuning in because obviously I'm interested in the process, but I had a pretty lengthy discussion with the planning commission, so and answered all of their questions. I will say that I am a former federal employee. And so that's one of the reasons that I had to step away from some of the other things that I've done with the town before, like being on the board of Central Vermont Internet, now CP Fiber, and working with the revolving loan fund for the town. And so now that I'm not a federal employee anymore, which would have been a not just because of political parties, but you actually mentioned the agency that I worked for was USDA Rural Development. So that would have been a conflict of interest. So I haven't been able to be involved in town stuff while I was a USDA employee. And I am no longer a USDA employee as of September 30th. So, and as Scott knows, I'm now working as a substitute teacher with the school district, Washington Central. And I think that's just about it. A lot of what I did at RD is very similar to work that the Planning Commission does, just at a different seat at the table. So it's something that I'm interested in and knowledgeable about. And I would also be interested in helping out with the grant committee, particularly with planning stuff, but any other things as well.
Nice. Does anybody have any questions that they want to
No,
ask
I'd
Becca?
I'd like to make the motion and then we can have further discussion.
Okay,
To
sure.
appoint Becca Schrader to the planning commission.
Okay,
For the
so
remainder of the term.
I just, for the remainder of the term, okay. So I just want to point out that this is the appointment or employment or evaluation of a public officer or employee. We are allowed to discuss this in executive session. I'm not suggesting that, I'm just pointing that out. I'm perfectly happy to discuss it in open session and move.
I don't think that's necessary in my opinion.
Yeah,
Executive session.
Yeah, same. So do we have a second? Okay,
No.
Tom seconded it. And do we have any further discussion?
I think Becca's great. Thanks for throwing your hat in the ring, Becca.
And Becca, you are clear that's only for a couple of months and you're prepared to run?
Yes, I've already notified Rosie, and I think she's got my petition on the front desk in the office there.
Has about
Yeah.
7 signatures. So,
Okay.
Okay.
So any further discussion about appointing Becca Schrader to the planning commission? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The ayes appear to have it. They do have it. Congratulations, Becca.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for coming in. Or zooming in, same as me.
And me.
Thanks.
Okay, so the next item, consideration of East Montpelier Trails easement deed. And I assume everyone saw the letter from our lawyer that said, don't do it. That's what he said. Until we consider it further.
There you go.
I think we did discuss this at the meeting, a couple of meetings ago, about the liability associated with this, but I think, Bill, you're gonna talk on this? It is Bill,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is the first opportunity for the select board to consider this idea, which is signing on as a co-holder of an easement
Exactly.
on property. So you have the proposed language for this easement, which would be on property owned by Landcare, Mike Brown on Town Hill. And so really, this is an opportunity for you guys to ask any questions of us as to how this would work if you have any questions. The addition of your name as far as just the language of the document. I brought an example of one that you guys are on right now. So it's quite literally adding about 20 words to the first paragraph. And then you would also get added on to the arbitration page and the signature page. But that's the only substantive changes to the language of the document. So yeah, this is really just a chance for the consideration, that you guys wanted to have on a case-by-case basis.
Here's a case.
Here's a case.
Yeah, so can you clarify, is this document which you've given us, this easement document, is this signed by anyone right now?
No,
Okay,
nope, so the process would be, if you guys decide that the town will sign on as a co-holder, I would get it redrafted by the lawyer, Steve Cusick. And then it would get presented in that final form to Mike and to you for acceptance.
so if we wanted to sign on to this, then it's, there's still room for negotiation to do more than just add our name to the first paragraph.
Absolutely, this is a draft
Yeah.
proposal. Yep,
Okay.
yep, Mike has seen it and he is fine with it as it stands. So. But yeah, you're welcome to make suggestions, modifications,
Yeah.
whatever.
Do you want to talk some about the arbitration clause in there? Because my understanding as a consumer is that I should be very leery of any contracts from a company that says everything that you bring to us is going to go through arbitration, because the company will find a way to find an arbitrator who's favorable to them, and I should not sign away my rights to go to court. Here, it's a somewhat different situation than a consumer and a big company. And there's this, to me, confusing two options of arbitration and going to court. So is this standard for easements?
This particular easement document was based very, very closely on other documents we already have, other
Yeah.
easements we have.
Yeah.
So substantively, I don't know of any differences
Uh-huh.
that exist here. This is no changes were suggested by Mike or anybody else to the standard language.
Okay.
So it's typical as far as I'm concerned.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything specific in the language that you're wanting to have more clarification on?
Well, I guess
I assume you're talking about 5, compliance with easement and binding arbitration.
that, and let me just pull it up. Yes, because the first two paragraphs are about arbitration, but the third paragraph is saying that we do have a right to bring in an action in court.
Okay.
So I'm just confused about how all that works. And I'm also confused about the letter from our attorney saying that we should have a clear understanding of the town's role and EMTI's expectation before it takes actions. I guess I was looking for a little bit more specifics from the attorney on what we should be asking for here, but.
The town, East Montpelier Trails would be listed as the manager
Mhm.
on the easement, so. The town would not have any specific immediate responsibilities, that would be entirely on us.
Mhm.
So that's a start.
Right. Okay,
Not sure.
How about liability?
So. In general. Vermont has a tremendous amount of protection. Well, you're not the landowner, you're a co-holder of the easement, so what's the liability specifically concern that you're thinking of?
Typically, when an attorney sues, he sues all parties. That's my experience. I've had a fair amount of it, so.
So did the attorney address the liability question specifically in his review?
No,
I don't-
he just said look into the liability issue. I think that's what I got out of it.
That's what I.
Don't sign.
Okay. So I could bring that back to Steve and find out what his opinion of that is. What the town, specifically what the town's liability is in being a co-holder?
Mm.
Is that the question?
Yes.
Okay.
And just to
I think
provide
we asked-
context for
What's
those
that?
who are hearing this for the first time, this is a case where the primary interest in bringing the town into the easement is the thought that East Montpelier Trails is a contingent organization. It could go away, whereas the town is a more permanent organization. And so the easement in the event of the demise of East Montpelier Trails would go to the town entirely. Is that right?
Yeah, because it's typical for us, with most other easements that are on conserved land, it's the conservation organization that is the co-holder of the easement. And so this would be, yeah, a level of permanence for these private land situations.
Mhm.
Right.
So right now, are we going to sign on to anything, or are we just holding off until we get the liability question answered?
I think we've asked a number of questions about liability, about arbitration versus going to court.
Okay,
Yep.
so we're
no,
not,
I'll come back.
okay,
Answers to those questions.
Good.
Okay.
Carl, is there something a little more specific that you're wondering about with the arbitration? Is it whether or not you are bound? Can you be more specific with what the question is?
Well, let's just say this. My understanding is that in this country, we have, unless we sign it away, a constitutional right to have our day in court to
Okay.
resolve disputes.
Uh,
What's the advantage to anyone of putting the arbitration clause in here?
okay.
That's maybe the best way I can think of phrasing it.
Okay. Or why have an arbitration clause if we have the right to go to court?
Yeah, or you know, why use in this sort of agreement arbitration rather than court mechanisms?
well, arbitration is a cheaper way to take care of a legal matter rather than go to court. It's an option.
If there's a preference,
Uh-huh,
then. And if arbitration has, for some reason, has a preference, is preferential,
uh-huh,
would you like that option?
uh-huh,
I guess is another way of
right, okay,
turning the question around.
right. Mhm. And I'm just not familiar with this type of dispute to understand the pluses and minuses of the court system versus the arbitration system.
Okay, anybody else have anything to add on that question?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay,
Great.
thank you, Bill.
All right, thanks.
Okay, we'll punt it off to another meeting.
Okay,
What's that?
I was just thanking him.
Okay, so the next item is discuss attendance of East Montpelier Select Board member to attend Berrytown DRB meeting on January 14th regarding final review of a boundary line adjustment and conditional use to use an RV as a tiny home.
I hate to say this after you've just rattled all that off, that was a long item, but since we have Bill here, would you want to go directly to that addition to the agenda that he wants to speak to?
Oh, sure, we should do that. The addition about the CVRBC grant.
Yep.
Yep.
Good. Okay.
And then I won't read that other thing again. We'll just go back to it. Okay, Bill.
So this was something that was brought to my attention today. And so we're all learning a little bit together here, but the idea is that there is a regional planning effort that's going on in central Vermont right now. To try to get together all the trail managers in the area and see how we can work together, see what needs are throughout the system, and how we can all benefit from each other's efforts. And then specifically, there's another grant that's being applied for that would build on that first meeting, which is happening at the end of January. and try to deliver, as is mentioned here, webinars and in-person workshops to support the trail managers. So Vermont Trails and Greenways Council is applying for this recreational trails program grant. Central Vermont Regional Planning Commission is provided a letter of support to them for this grant application. And they have asked if we would be interested in also supplying a letter of support. And so I said to him today that I would bring it up at the meeting if there was an opportunity tonight. To find out whether the town was interested in signing on to a letter of support for this kind of program, this kind of effort. So East Montpelier Trails would certainly end up writing a letter. We will write a letter of support, and just wanted to put it out there to see if the select board was interested in supporting this.
Okay. What does everyone think?
I don't know if everybody got a chance to read the letter that planning commission put together.
No,
Yeah,
to the letter from Lincoln Frasca.
that's the one.
EVRPC,
Yeah,
that's, oh, is that what you're talking about?
It is.
EVRPC,
it
okay.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the one I read.
yeah. Um,
And are you reaching out to the planning commission as well, as long as we're talking about the planning commission?
so the planning commission is the organization that is sort of co-sponsoring this meetup.
Okay,
And so
no, I'm, when I say planning commission, I mean,
This
it's not
our
clear
planning
planning
commission.
commission.
No, I
Okay.
haven't.
Okay,
No.
okay.
Okay. There's no harm in us writing a letter. I mean, we're not on the hook for any money, I don't believe.
I don't see any downside
Yeah.
to it myself.
Do you want
Yeah, I
to
don't
send
see
us
any either.
a letter for us to sign for next meeting?
that'd be fine.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Good.
We'll get it done.
Great. Very good.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Bill.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's move to the next long-winded agenda item. It was supposed to be a 5:55. Oh, shit, 21 minutes late. So I don't quite understand why we want to attend a Berrytown DRB meeting. Can you explain?
Do you want me to explain? This was an item, a butter notification that we received in the mail.
Okay,
So as I would with any other notification regarding the town's boundaries, we just submit it to the select board to see if there's any action required.
okay. So,
How are we in a butter here?
We're in a butter because the family that wants to use that's doing the boundary line adjustment is not adjusting any of our boundaries, obviously, but apparently the property that is on Meckelston Road, somehow the town of Berry says we are in a butter.
okay,
And it's this little tiny spot between Meckelston Road and near the CV landfill.
Uh-huh.
okay,
There's a little tiny,
Sliver.
yeah, there's a sliver there, so, this was, intended to be an FYI, as
Yep.
well as if there's any action that needs to be taken. I wasn't aware of anything, but I did give it to Jen so that you folks could review it.
oh, thank you, Rosie. So,
Anytime
so if anyone is interested in attending the meeting, please say so, but I am not. So if there is any interest, I guess you could just do it. You could go to the meeting. It's open to the public, I assume.
So,
correct?
yeah, I don't have any interest in the boundary line adjustment between two properties that neither of them are owned by the town of East Montpelier. And neither of them is in East Montpelier, I guess. But the second one, a conditional use to use a tiny home as a temporary dwelling, is that property on 506
RV,
Road?
use an RV
Well, it says RV parenthesis tiny home, so I don't know
as a
what that.
tiny home. Yeah,
They're using the RV as their dwelling. while they're
I
there.
see, okay. Is 506 Meckelson Road, is that a parcel that extends into East Montpelier at all?
Nope.
Okay, I don't have any interest in that either.
I think the rules and laws that surround the development review boards require them to set us
Uh-huh,
yeah,
a butter.
okay.
exactly. They have to send a notice out to
Yeah.
abutters,
Yeah, okay.
and we happen to be in a butter. Okay, so we can pass over that item, and if anyone's interested, they can still go without our blessing because they can go. Correct?
Yeah, I just want to hear you read the item one more time, so.
I can do it if you would like me to. I like reading, Carl, but I think people would like me to move on. So the next item, 6 o'clock, consideration of the preliminary budget, possible motion. So let me get the computer over to that. Let's see, budget. So we have the town treasurer here. And what do we gotta look at? I see.
So all the lines in red were changes.
Yes, I get that.
Increases. Yep,
Yeah, so the first line is dog licenses. Is that correct? That's what I
Yep.
have.
yep.
Okay, that's not a real matter of, you're saying you're gonna take in more money from dog licenses? That's what it looks like.
No, we're taking
Oh,
in
it's
less.
less, right? Only 1,000 you have.
Fewer people are licensing their dogs.
People don't like to license their dogs?
Nope. And no one enforces it, so.
Right, I hear you. So that's $1,000 less we're gonna put in the budget. The next one is the liquor license fees. Correct?
Yep,
That doesn't
Yeah.
look like a big lift. It's $10 more, right?
right.
Okay,
Most of the
land use,
line- most
what's
of the
that?
line- Let me just say, most of the lines for increases and decreases are pretty close to
Yes,
what they were last year.
right.
The
I see
biggest
that.
the biggest things are gonna be the garage bond expenses.
Yep,
And I told you some of the staffing, mainly the lister salaries are like doubled. But
What?
they always go over budget, yeah. Yeah,
what?
they always go over budget anyhow, Seth, way over budget.
Yeah, what is a
Now-
lister budget?
And now
Is-
they're saying they need the 48 hours each of the training, so their line is doubled. But
What?
good news is that we saved on some other lines because we're saving on insurance. And we've over budgeted in the past, so we're saving some in other areas. But overall, the budget is up about 16% almost.
16?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep.
How many cents on the tax rate is that? That's
I've not
7
figured
cents?
it.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Oh, holy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I had highlighted this, I had highlighted the doubling of the listers also. I know you just addressed it, Michelle, but it's real money.
Yeah,
They're always over budget anyhow.
they didn't used to be. Not like they are now. How much did you budget for the listers? I'm trying to find it on my page, but I guess it's the next page. Oh yeah,
And
one,
is there any auditing or managing of the listers? I mean, they just put down on a piece of paper how much time they say they spend?
Yeah.
No time clock, right? So there's
time
no,
clock.
They're elected, so therefore we can't require them to use a time clock if we had one. I did a little research on the expectations from property valuation. The Vermont Department of Taxes as to this 48 hours of training that's required. It went into law July 1st, 2023, that all listers within their first year must become what they call VPA certified at level 1, which is, the state's in a push to provide property assessment training to all listers. And eventually give them the opportunities to become assessors versus listers. They provide the training for free, however, towns are on the hook for paying for their salaries for the time that they use for training. The good news is that all of the training that the state plans to do for all listers will be rolled into this 48 hours. There won't be any other additional trainings on Vermont Pi, which is the software they use, or any other issues. But the 48 hours is a requirement. And there is a possibility that 2 of our existing listers have done some of the required training already. But they would be required to prove that they've done this training over the last 2 years, and there may be issues with record keeping with that. I don't know.
Do we have any guidelines on what's typical for towns of our size to be spending on listers? How many hours they need to be
I've
working?
never seen.
Not to my knowledge.
No.
No.
Thank you for all
We've
that
tried to
research.
control this before. What's that?
I said, thank you for all this research, Rosie, but I know this comes up every year.
You know, we've done this for years, is trying to control their budget, but now they've spent 39,000 so far for 25. Is that what I get out of this?
Yes,
And you've got 49,000 in.
we're halfway through.
Yeah, you're right. That's nuts.
Yeah. I don't know how
Once
you,
again, we have no monitoring system. They
It's
could
just
say
that-
they spend 1,000 hours a week. You know, Zoe.
Well, let's throw that out though. Let's just say that they are spending a lot of hours, because I do see them there a lot. We're not gonna assume that they're padding their hours. We're gonna assume they're there a lot. Right? But why are they there? Why is it taking so long to do the listing job? I mean, is it increased work as we move along in modern history here?
well, there might be some increased work because aren't they redoing the CAI map or?
The CAI map gets updated 4 times a year
Right.
based on the contract that we have with them.
What about the grand list? Aren't
The
they working
grand
on that
list
as well?
is done. It's done.
That doesn't change that much though. The
Right.
grand list, we don't have a lot of houses being built.
Hmm.
So I can tell you there's a mapping issue with my farm that I've been trying to get resolved for 5 years. So I'm questioning how efficient they're using their time.
I agree with you. So
Yeah.
there's rabbit holes that go down.
The
They go down quite
CAI
a bit.
map could be automated, and there's a small thing they need to do to automate it, but that hasn't been done yet.
So
We've also talked about going to the townspeople and asking them whether they want to eliminate the office of listers and hire an assessor. Have we done research into how much it would cost us with a outside assessor?
I have not.
We have not,
Yeah.
but there are other towns that do have that model.
Right.
I bet
The
it
oth-
costs more.
The other thought is that, presuming that your listers go through the VPA training, for 3 years, they become assessors. And therefore, if you decide to get rid of the office of lister, you would still have a quote unquote local person that would be available to be an assessor for you.
Okay, so getting back to the budget amount though, if you set a budget, we've talked about this before, that they're obligated to work within that budget. I mean, we're not enforcing that, obviously.
Control that though, Seth.
What's that?
How do you control that? Like, I get their timesheets, they tell me they've worked.
You just say, you know what, you gotta work within your budget, and tough shit, you're only making $5 an hour this week. I don't know. I'm just saying that we've had this discussion with them before and we've been a lot stricter about it. We're not being strict right now.
It's a
Well, it's not
problem.
that's not Michelle's responsibility. It's our responsibility.
It
to
is.
select.
I agree, and we're getting very lax about enforcing that budget. We've had them in before. I remember years ago, we had them in and we lectured them like, you're not gonna get paid if you don't cut back your hours. And now we're like, oh, we'll give them $50,000 this year because blah, blah, blah. So I'm just saying, we are being very lax about enforcing our budgetary amount. I think we should set a lower amount and try to control it.
I mean, the problem is the auditing process. We have no clue whether, just
This
as
is
you said, Seth, and that's a great point. They can show up and sit there for 8 hours. Are they playing? I'm not saying they're playing games, but we have no clue on how efficient or not.
And also, I believe that one of them works from home, so we don't know. We don't know what that person is doing. They're
And
not
we-
in
think
the
pe-
office.
Jen, you said part of it could be automated.
Yeah, the mapping piece, the CI maps.
And we don't know whether our expectations are too low for the amount of work that's needed to
Right.
do this, if we don't have figures from other towns and what they spend.
Yeah, but we've been battling this for years and years and years, ever since I've been on the select board.
Yeah, and I mean, who's to say that we haven't been wrong? The select board hasn't been wrong all these years. I don't know. I'm not saying we are. I just would like some data.
Well, that $26,000 amount that we had in the budget for the last couple of years hasn't been that abused. Now it's 39,000 that we've spent already this year, and we're only halfway through the year. So this is out of control.
I believe the figure is 21,000 we've spent so far this year.
What do I have here? Town listers.
FY 26 actuals is a column to look at.
Yeah. Oh, I was looking at 25.
Yeah.
FY
At the end of
26.
25, they spent 39,000.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
20,000. Right, 21,000. Huh. Well, I'm for setting a lower amount and trying to control the amount that we're spending. We can do more automation. We can talk to them. There's a few tools that we have that we try to control that expense. So
Would it
I
be
vote.
reasonable-
What's
I'm sorry.
that? Go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. Would it be reasonable to ask the listers for justification for a budget?
Oh, is that the amount they sent us? 49,000?
No,
Or is
I'm
that
just
some-
going on, I'm going on actuals and then them telling me that they each need 48 hours of further CPE.
Yeah, so how many hours do you need? What's the total budget and how do you justify that compared with, say, what other towns do? Or in any other way you wanna justify it?
I don't know if we'll get an answer though before this budget needs to be approved.
Uh-huh,
And just set the amount lower.
Report as well.
Be bold.
yeah.
Set it lower and make them work to that.
Whatever you want to do, I'll do.
That's what I want to do.
I mean,
I don't know
think
what
the
everyone else thinks.
Gonna blow it again.
Yeah, but it's like leading the horse to water, you know? You don't want to give them a full bucket of grain and they're going to use up all the grain. You're going to give them half a bucket of grain.
That's a good analogy.
All right. I say we set the amount lower
Okay,
and we work on them.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, if they theoretically spend $300,000, we just pay them. I'm being facetious, but
No, you're correct. That's
there's
right.
there's no boundaries.
No boundaries. Screw that. Sorry. Set it lower
Okay,
and try to control them. Okay. What's the next? What's that?
Rosie, this mandatory training,
Yeah,
you said that some of them have completed it.
well, she's done a little.
I've been told that there's a possibility that some pieces have been completed by two of our more seasoned listers. But
They may not have
I was
proof of-
told, by our district manager today that they would need to have documentation. that they took-
Certificates, just like anybody else.
Right,
And if they didn't keep it, they.
and if they didn't keep it, they would have to take it again. So I don't know,
The state doesn't keep records.
apparently not.
Does the state put any money towards that training?
They actually, in the Act 68 that was approved in 2023, they receive $100,000 a year from the education fund to provide the training that's required.
Okay,
Just note that this training was started to be required in 2023.
Well, you know, the law passed in 2023, and as of January 1st, 2026, anyone new has a year to finish it.
yeah. All right. We need to move on. What's another figure that we need to look at?
So I'm gonna go with the larger ones.
Yeah,
The
that's a good idea.
The external audit, I put in at 29 because we're paying for that extra audit this year, so it's gonna be about $29,000 when we're all said and done. But I
What's the
probably
extra?
lower the
FEMA.
sub grant,
The FEMA,
the FEMA, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I could probably
Yeah.
lower it down to 25 safely, but that's it.
it was 17, right, last year or something?
Oh, it's 22 and then we paid 7 additional
Oh, okay,
this year we're ending, yeah.
okay. Um,
A lot of the numbers I went by what we actually paid
yeah,
in
that's a good idea.
25. Yeah.
Hmm.
I got some numbers from VLCT. There aren't any huge ones here. The big ones are gonna be the town garage bond.
Yeah,
The interest principal, that's our biggest jump right there. That's
yeah,
over
so last year we just paid interest, correct?
Right, yes.
And how much, what was that amount? I don't have that page up here.
The
What did we
interest
pay?
was like 102, I think.
That's what we paid last year?
Think so. Oh, last
That
year we
sounds-
only paid 8,000, sorry,
How much? 58?
48,000 last year.
Yeah. And
This
this year we're
year-
gonna pay 102?
205 for interest and the principal's 247. So that's the huge jump in the budget right there.
That's it right there. Everything else is nickels and dimes.
Everything else kind of like balances itself out
Right.
for the most part.
So the town garage is what's gonna put us up. And there's nothing we
Yeah.
can do about that figure.
No, there's nothing.
And
So-
we anchored it with the voters.
Yeah,
So that puts our budget up 16%.
yeah.
So then the next meeting we have, which is on the 21st,
Yeah.
are you gonna put it together so we know what the increase in taxes is gonna be to
Yeah.
support that budget?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
all right.
And just to go back, do you want to inform the listers that do they even know what do they know what their budget is for next year, Michelle, or you put that in because you're
I haven't-
anticipating?
Shared this with them. No,
Okay.
I was waiting for you guys to look at it.
Okay, you might want to, if it's right with you, Seth, convey our
Concern.
concerns about them not being within their budget.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That is
Okay.
fine with me. Absolutely fine.
I'll have Jen do that.
That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the figure that we could work on. That's not gonna do a lot, but it helps a little bit. Are there any other areas that we could save on that you can think of?
Not really, because I went down in some.
Yeah,
We're saving money on insurances because some people have moved out of higher insurance costs.
right. Yeah,
So we're saving money there. I estimated 5% increases for salaries, so that's pretty basic.
the zoning administrator's salary's gotta be pretty low, cause he doesn't get many hours in. Did you notice
Uh,
that? I mean, I just review his hours and sometimes they're really low.
he doesn't do that now, right now, he said.
It's like 22 hours every 2 weeks, like 10 hours or something a week.
Oh, sometimes it's 5 hours a week.
Yeah, you're right. It
I
kind
know.
of fluctuates.
Yeah.
So I do have schedules of the salaries I can send you guys, that I did.
Okay,
You can see those in more detail. I'll
Yep.
send those to you.
okay. Anybody else have any questions before we move to the next item?
No.
No, okay. So the next item is discuss municipal office computer and network replacement, possible executive session and possible motion. Are we gonna talk about that in executive session? Because we could do the town administrator report in the warrants and then go in executive session if everyone so desires. Can't hear much.
Yeah, yes, we're saying yes to that suggestion.
Yeah, okay. So let's do the, well, Carl's the only one. Oh, Carl and Tom are there to do warrants.
Right, so you could make, someone could make a motion to authorize us to sign it on behalf of the
Yeah.
select board.
Right,
I'll make that motion
okay.
to appoint
I'll second.
Carl and Tom to sign the warrants on behalf of the rest of the select board.
And do we have a second on that?
I did.
Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
the ayes have it. Okay, town administrator report.
Okay, currently we're up to drafting 3 RFPs. One for the CDBG grant, one for the municipal planning grant. We also need to formally accept that. We had 45 days, so we still need to accept that with a signature. And also the rec board asked for a new RFP for the maintenance of the rec fields, ground and lawn contract. For the ash tree RFP, the bid submission deadline is February 2nd. For the emergency management director, per the emergency management committee recommendation, we created a new town phone line extension number for the EMD director. So, this person, who is me, couldn't record a voice message in case of emergencies. And recruitment, we're still recruiting for several positions, and the positions are posted on our webpage. We're also using Front Porch Forum. And we put in an application for the Vermont Municipal Climate Planning Guides Pilot Program. That was submitted December 31st. There's no cost for this. It just provides climate guides that could help the planning commission write the town plan. And a quick reminder, we have a joint EMFD meeting Wednesday, the 7th. And we have a couple changes to our schedule for the select board meetings in February and January. So January 21st will be our next one, February 9th and February 23rd. And that's it,
And what time's the meeting for the fire department? Is that 6:30 or
6:30,
6:30.
is it 6:30?
yes.
Okay. And I hopefully, we can have some select board members attend. Cause there's a little bit of discussion going on about the budget.
Did the
And
meeting in December not happen?
No, it happened.
Okay,
no, we had the meeting, but,
There was a lot of questions that they didn't have answers.
yeah, okay.
yeah, there was a lot of questions about their numbers and their finances that they didn't seem too clear on, so hopefully they'll be better prepared for this meeting. So I hope all of us can attend. Or most of us can attend, or some of us can attend.
Is that-
So anyway,
is that-
No, 6:30.
okay, is
Yeah.
that it? That's it for you, Jen?
Yep.
Okay, so let's see. So I guess we can go into the executive session to discuss a contract, if everyone so
Okay.
desires.
Okay, I move that the select board finds that premature general public knowledge of the contract to be discussed would clearly place the town of East Montpelier or a person involved at a substantial disadvantage.
Is there a
Okay.
second?
I'll second it.
Thank you.
And all those in favor, please say aye.
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 I move to enter executive session to discuss the contract to be discussed under 1 VSA 313A1.
Need a second.
Second.
Thank you.
All those in favor, please say aye.
I
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so we are now out of executive session at 7:02.
move to accept a modification of the bids from RB Technologies. Because RB Technologies bid 5 desktops and we want 4 desktops and a laptop. But we have an earlier quote from them on a laptop price. And we want to accept the bid for the router. So I move to accept the bids as modified from RB Technology for 5 computers and the router for a total of up to $7,000.
I'll second that.
And we have a second. Do we have any further discussion? Not hearing any. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The ayes appear to have it. They do have it. Anything else?
Motion
Yeah.
to adjourn. Motion to adjourn.
So did we set a date for a pre-town meeting?
Yeah, it's the Monday before town meeting. Is that what you're asking, Tom?
Yes.
I thought
Yeah.
we weren't gonna conflict with the town or the school board again.
Oh, okay. I guess we haven't said it then.
I may be wrong, maybe we decided to do that conflict again, but
We haven't
Before-
really decided. I just wrote it on my schedule, but I guess I was being presumptuous.
uh-huh.
I'm gonna be gone for a period of time in February, that's why I'm trying
Okay.
to figure it out.
Yeah. I forget what our window is for having it.
It's
Have to
within,
be no more
Within
than 30
10
days
days.
before, is that right?
Thought it was 10 days. Could be wrong.
I thought it was 10 days too, but I'm not sure.
10 days before?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
So then we'd have to have a special meeting. It wouldn't be a select board meeting.
Right,
Right.
unless we
And
want
that
to
would be,
reschedule the meeting.
well, we have a select board meeting the Monday before town meeting, which is the second. The town meeting, I think, is the third.
It is.
So if,
But that, the Saturday before, maybe.
Right, but isn't the second the one when the school has it?
yes, I think so. That's what I've heard, but I know I won't be here the Saturday before.
Okay.
I think I'm playing
Because
polo.
Saturday before is something we've often done.
Yeah, we used to, but we decided that it was a horrible waste of everyone's Saturday because no one showed up. That's why we moved the select board meetings.
And then we haven't gotten any more turnout at the select board meeting.
No, we have very little turnout. It's almost nothing. So that's why we moved it to the select board meeting, says we're already, prepared to meet. So it's like, let's just do it now.
It's fine
Because
with me.
Saturday there was like 5 people coming. It was terrible. And everyone had to do it on a Saturday when they had other things to do.
Well, how about we do it February 23rd? We have a select board meeting then, and that is
Yep.
fewer than 10 days before town meeting.
As long as we're sure that's within the statutory time.
Right,
So that's the only holdup. I'm perfectly willing to do it February 23rd if that doesn't conflict with the school board and it's within the statutory
All right,
timeline.
so let's have Jen ask Rosie or whatever and just
Yeah.
verify that that's acceptable.
Yeah, we'll just have to look it up. Okay, so right now there's a motion on the floor to adjourn.
So move.
We have a second? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you.